With the news coming out from Catalonia over the weekend, not just that 90% of those that voted or were able to vote in what has been called an illegal referendum chose independence over life as a Spanish region, but the divisive actions of the authorities leading up to, during and subsequent to the vote. Where does this leave the Spanish economy, the EU, and perhaps more importantly, the euro? Well, joining me now is Christel Aranda-Hassel, senior European economist at Mizuho International. First, was this a protest vote, do you think, after the heavy-handed actions of the authorities?
I think that basically from the very beginning, those committed to vote were always going to be those who want the independence of Catalonia. But needless to say, the heavy-handedness of the Spanish authorities probably reinforced that even more. So yes, I mean, the result is biased to a certain extent.
Do you see any disruption as well to the main Spanish authorities, to the Prime Minister? And do you think there's a danger that we could see other regions now wanting some sort of vote like the Basque region?
No, I think that this is very much a Catalonian issue for the time being. It obviously depends on how things continue being handled. But the Spanish constitution is very, very clear. The Spanish constitution does not allow for independence, and the vote is illegal, the referendum is illegal. Now, will the Catalonians counter that and declare independence irrespective of that? It's highly likely, because that's what they have promised to do. And then it remains to be seen how the Spanish government continues handling this. Ultimately, they can invoke Article 155, and that one essentially takes away the autonomous control of the region, or basically curtails temporarily the government of the region and sort of centralizes it all back to Madrid. So it remains to be seen if that's the way the government will go. I mean, certainly some of the sort of other parties in parliament are already asking for that to be invoked.
Do you think Rajoy will survive?
I think Rajoy will definitely survive. Overall, the parties in parliament, even the opposition, are sort of seeing the illegality of the Catalan vote. And there is very little appetite at the moment to sort of challenge Rajoy. Yes, it is a minority government, but nobody else is sort of getting enough support either. If we would have an early election at this juncture, it wouldn't be too different a result from what we've had in the past, or sort of not that long ago. So it's way too early to challenge Rajoy. It remains to be seen how he continues handling it. But as I said, even the opposition is in line with ultimately sort of not acknowledging the Catalan vote.
We've spoken a lot about the political side of this. What effect is all this going to have on the Spanish economy, if anything? We do know, of course, the Spanish economy, like the rest of Europe, is beginning to show some green shoots. It is beginning to get some traction, to some heat in the economy. Yes, unemployment's still relatively high, especially amongst the very young. But what about the Spanish economy generally? Do you think there's going to be a hit from this on the economy broadly?
Well, normally the more political uncertainty drags out, the more obviously business sort of postpones any investment decisions, investment plans are put on ice. And yes, I mean, the longer it drags out, the more of a dampening effect it has. It is actually quite sad to see this happening in Spain at the moment, because Spain, in fact, has been the star performer and is the sort of, in a way, the sort of top student in the league, since they put the structural reforms in place and have been harvesting ever since. Spain has got very, very high growth rates. Yes, they are coming from a low base, but they have been really outperforming the rest of the euro area and have been creating jobs at a very quick clip. So it is actually a bit sad to sort of see now a potential dampener on economic performance coming from this. But as I said, it remains to be seen how this is handled and how long this all gets dragged out. I mean, I think it is way too early to sort of even think about Catalonian independence. And I would assume that businesses are not going to sort of start packing up just yet. But obviously are not going to sort of rush to take any decisions either, and the longer this gets postponed.
Absolutely. To what degree do you think this is an event for the euro as well? If we look at a chart for the euro, we're currently trading at 117.50. We're trying to break this support level at 117.26, which has been around now for 2 or 3 months or so. We've seen a little bit of heat taken off the euro recently from the recent highs at just over 120.5. To what degree do you think this is a euro event? Obviously, if it starts to collect momentum out across the rest of the eurozone, obviously it's going to be something more serious. But how much of today's decline in the euro is down to Catalonia vote?
Well, definitely today I would say the sort of retracing of recent euro strength is definitely down to Catalonia, but it remains to be seen how the FX market continues digesting this. If the FX market starts attaching a increased risk premia of other euro area countries following potentially suit, and this all therefore leading to the much feared breakup of the euro area eventually, and then definitely further euro weakness is in store. But my assumption is that the market will actually look beyond that, will very much subscribe that to being a Spanish event, and it has to be sorted out in Spain ultimately, and will sort of refocus on the very healthy growth momentum that the euro area is currently showing. And on the back of that, I would not exclude some euro strength going forward further out again.
Okay, look, we'll have to leave it there, but thanks indeed for joining us, Christel.
Thank you.
Christel Aranda-Hassel is a senior European economist at Mizuho International.